it's dating crazy people to me, and I'm just gonna start this off. But dating crazy people to me, I think it's a two-edged sword, I guess you could say, because yeah, sometimes it's a thin line between me just kind of being a little bit jealous and it being cute, and me being a little bit jealous and crazy because it's like, hey, it's something wrong with your ass. So that's kind of where you got to really watch it, because that's where people get lost, I think, because initially it starts out at that cute little, you jealous and, oh, you just don't want me to go nowhere and this and that. And then you look up 6 months, 7 months later, and it goes into a whole nother level. So maybe that's why people stay, because I never understood why people just like stay with people that this nigga crazy. I don't get it. I mean, you got to see the signs.
They
can't escape.
It's subtle when they give it out in the beginning, and then they just gradually add on to their crazy. And 7 months in, you be like, this motherfucker is insane.
But at that point, do you not just leave then? Because then
I tell you, you try to leave, but you involuntarily still in a relationship.
That part.
I don't know. I guess has who's dealt with insane? Right. 5 of them?
Not really. Not truly.
I've
dealt with insane.
I moved to another state. Okay.
Oh no, you riding motherfucker Julia Roberts, right? You Julia Roberts riding motherfucker. in the fucking limousine.
I moved to another state, right?
That's
we'll go home. I left my kids there with my mom while I moved here. It was actually here to get settled. And we'll go home every other weekend to visit them. And it was like, I'm gonna lay low, but that nigga still found out I was in town.
Motherfucker got a wig on. Hey, everybody.
Motherfucker disguises.
Look.
That's when man, big mustaches and shit.
Oh, shit. Messed up, man. Alicia.
You gotta respect his commitment to being crazy, though.
Yeah, but then again, women, y'all have to ask yourself that question. Do y'all then come to the point like, this man love me? He don't want to see me go.
No.
What?
No.
Y'all would never think that.
No.
He really love me.
The shit come in layers. I have been there. You're a little jealous. Then a couple of later, another incident happened, and you like, in a couple of months later, it's something else. And you 7 months in, you be like, this motherfucker is crazy.
But don't love come with licks though. I'm just asking.
It's a motherfucker
like
laying in your back seat.
Licks like that? What kind of licks you talking about?
Licks.
Right.
Like don't love don't come with licks.
Right.
No. I'm asking a question. Y'all looking at me.
Stop the podcast. Just stop it.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because not to compare adults with non-adults, but don't we hit kids out of love?
There you go with that.
I love how I got transition with the bullshit.
Right, I ain't going. This is not what love got to do with it. Oh no.
I'm asking a question. Okay, I'm just asking.
No licks.
Okay,
if it gets a licks, then there's somebody gonna be dealing with some grits and some
problems. I got you.
Now I'm in jail.
Hey, but it's acceptable when the woman's hitting the man. Y'all, that's okay.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I teach my boys. Let me tell you something, because I know even when we were teenagers, we would always see those handful of chicks that like to provoke a male and get in his face, want to muffle him, put a finger. You're blowing too much fire up under somebody's ass. You're going to get a response. You need to give somebody their space. You need to give somebody their space. So I teach
she talking like I need her to talk.
If a female puts their hands on you, let me tell you something. You got but one time. See, first of all, males are stronger. But you got but one time to put your hand on one of my boys. Because I've let them know, don't hit her back. But if it gets to a place where you do have to defend yourself, sit her down. Don't beat her up, but sit her down.
Baby.
Because you know what? You got to get her off of you. You understand what I'm talking about? Because look, it's a man. You better know it. You better call me. Don't call Tyrone. Call your mama. Okay? Because Papa Bear will provide and protect and all of that. That's good. But Mama Bear gonna kill for the cub. I don't care how old the cub gets.
Show you right.
Same. So
Mama
get
ain't
her
fighting
down.
nobody.
If you can avoid the situation by all means. First of all, when somebody get 5 steps too close inside that bubble, it's time to go ahead and cut out anyway. It's time to cut out. Nobody should be able to get in that 5 foot space. Nobody should be able to get in there.
That felt so good. That felt so good.
Are you full of shit?
All that shit sounded sweet. But you ain't gonna be out here fighting nobody.
Up and they'll tell you. That's what I
because that's what I've been preaching. It's like, you know, when you get up in a dude's face and you keep doing this shit here, like you asking, like if you know that this man is stronger than you, if you know, let's put it to you like this, if you know typically, if you out in the street and you talking crazy, but you know the person, they done flashed a gun. At some point you gotta say, you know what?
Catch your eye.
You win, my nigga. That's what I'm saying. So like that's the same thing with relationship. You know somebody got more power, more force than you. Leave that shit alone. Don't provoke the situation. Just say, you know what? You got it. That's what I'm saying. I've been saying it, and that's all I mean is just like don't put yourself in the situation where like she said, you're lighting that fire up under somebody's ass, and after a while. You know, that fire gonna extend to fist and it's gonna fuck. Yeah. You gotta, regardless to whether you living by the code of he might, you know, he not supposed to hit a woman. No, he's not supposed to. But that don't mean he ain't.
But do you know that goes both ways, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. But to y'all hit with on dumb shit. Who ate all the cereal? Foul. You know, you can't.
You can't love it now.
Doing that shit. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the surprise topic. What I want to know is, if do we owe our parents anything? Like, do we, like, I know most people feel like obligated, or they feel like that's my mom, that's my dad, you know, I owe them for my life, you know, this, that, and the other. So I want to know your thoughts on how you feel about if we actually owe our parents for our life. Do we owe them anything in life? So I'll start with Sylvia.
This is for me personally. I can't speak for the masses, so I'm not going to try to speak for the masses. But for me, absolutely.
Okay.
I owe my mom more than I owe my dad. I will say that.
All of us do. Go ahead.
Don't give a fuck about a grown ass man. It just don't exist.
No, it's not the fact that, it's just that my mom was way more of a parent to me than my dad ever was. Don't get me wrong, I love my dad, but that's just the fact of the matter.
Right.
Was not for my mom, I would not be where I am today. I wouldn't have been able to do a lot of the things that I've been able to do. Because even with a child, of course, you make the sacrifices for your child, but my mama made sacrifices for me as a grown person that she did not have to make, because you made this situation in, and she didn't allow me to lie in my situation because I made it. She sacrificed a lot for me to get to where I am. So absolutely.
Okay. All right. Alicia?
Anybody agree with it or not?
Okay. Alicia? Yes or no? A yes or no from you.
I'm breathing. It's a two-part answer. So, do we owe our parents?
Zoom is a one-part show. Just FYI. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm appreciative of everything that my mom and dad did for me. I would say that I was a young mom, young married woman, and they stepped up and they helped out. Of course, rearing me, giving me the moral foundation I needed, provided what I needed as a kid. as an adult, definitely stepped up and helped me out with my kids. Even prior to us moving out here, 3-4 years ago, as far as picking them up from school and doing things of that nature. So I appreciate everything that they've done. Right. I will take care of them when they get older. They're not able to do for themselves. If they need anything, I will drop at a dime and give them anything that they need and be there to assist them. Now, do I owe them? I would say this: some kids or adults spend their entire lives trying to live for their parents.
Right.
And if we're speaking, do I owe you in that sense? No. I mean, there is a disconnect. I don't know if everybody knows, but there's a disconnect between me and my parents now. It's been a disconnect for, my daughter's how old? 13 years. I'm not going to go into full detail with it, but it has to do with choices that as an adult that I chose to make for myself.
Okay.
So it's one in which we basically don't speak. Even though I said, again, 4 years ago, they were still helping out with the kids. But as far as a personal relationship with me and with them, there really wasn't one. But I could still, of course, if I needed something, call on them and ask them to help out, pick the kids, some things of that nature.
Right.
So do I appreciate everything that they've done for me? Yes. Anything that I can do to help them out, I'm going to do it without even giving an afterthought. Okay. But do I feel like I owe them my life in the sense of living for them, which some people do still try to make decisions as adults to please your parents? You don't want to disappoint them. No, I'm beyond that.
Got you. Okay. All right. We can respect that. Okay. Chris?
Yeah. Let me go ahead and get this. I'm about to bounce after this one.
Okay.
The biggest thing.
Get a shirt?
Yeah. It's in your back seat. Can you hand it to me?
Hello.
Oh damn. Okay. Let's see it.
Nah.
Anyway, but back to what you were saying. Do I feel like you owe your parents? Not necessarily. Owe is not the right word. Should you feel some sort of indebtedness to them? Feeling like they have done all they could for you? I mean, I feel like if you have good parents, you should want to reciprocate when you can. You should want to be able to, let's say if you've gotten to a point in your life where you're successful and you have the means to do extra things for your parents, then hell yeah, if you can, you do it. Of course, if they're ever at a point in need, the reality of it is, I feel like you have great parents. They brought you up with the mindset of treat people the way that you want to be treated. Hell, if I was down and out and my son is finally grown up and he could take care of me, and he, do that, I'd appreciate it. I've taken care of your bad ass for a long time.
Right.
Be all in my room and shit when I'm trying to go to sleep. Now go. So look, now it's time for me to be all up in your shit.
Right.
Throwing off your game.
Okay. All right. Up in his house, cock blocking. Okay, Nakia.
Yeah, straight like that. But I'm about to go, you guys. I'm gonna catch you guys next time.
Chris.
Okay, Chris.
Nice to meet you. And I'm definitely gonna hear your point of view on the next recording. We're gonna be on your ass if you would come back.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Okay.
I definitely will come back. Definitely.
All right, y'all.
All right.
I'm kind of partially what he said. I'm kind of in agreement with where he I was thinking that before he said it was the word "oh." You know what I mean? I just think it should be a different word or a different concept with it.
Okay.
My mom has definitely done a whole lot for me as a child, and still to this day still does a lot for me, whether if I ask her or not.
Right.
I feel like I'm more than grateful for everything that she's done, the things that she continues to do for me, the kids, the family, without any reservation in regards. So I'm always trying to make sure that I show her that I appreciate her and the things that she's done, because saying it is cool, that seems politically correct, you know what I'm saying? But every chance that I get to let her know that I'm grateful for everything that she's done and the things that she's willing to do for me and the family, I'm always trying to put those things in perspective for her. and do things to make life easier for her. Like we even get into it still that she gets mad. Those are my grandbabies. If you need me to do something for you, you can ask me. And I'm like, Ma, I know I can ask you, but I choose not to, because when I decided to become a parent, that they're my responsibility. So when you want to do something, it's because you want to. You're not having to because I'm not asking. But if you want to, I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? I'm like, I want you to live your life, because I saw my mom was a wife at 16. She married my dad. She was 16, he was 18.
A wife at 16.
So my mom and left home, and I came 2 years later. So I'm like,
listen
me and
to
my
this,
brother
ladies.
Grown, you know.
Yeah, I know.
So
Alicia.
I already know where you're trying to go with this.
Yeah, I know. It's fine.
So they, right. So they, you know, so by them being, you know, she didn't get, I want her to make sure that, you know, going forward with her life, that since me and my brother have been grown, you don't have to be like, man, my kid's always pulling on me. Y'all need something. No, if anything, she's always checking in on us. Do you need something? Do you want something? I don't mind, you know. And the only times that I felt the need to ask her, it had to be that I actually, it was a dire thing and it was a last resort to ask. And it was in regards to making sure that I had somebody to watch the kids while I went and made money, but nothing leisure. You know, friends were like, oh, we going out. I'm like, y'all, Sylvia tell you, I ain't going. Y'all Facebook me, picture tag me, and I'm not going because I got the kids this weekend. You know what I mean? So I just won't go. But I'm very grateful for her and everything that she's done. So I just think there should be another word than O, because O just seems like,
O is not. It's more of a you should instead of you feeling like you owe them, you should feel a desire and an honor. Yeah, an honor to. Okay, so an honor as opposed to a duty.
If it's a parent who was not, let's say, that was a necessarily a good parent due to whatever issues. Mm-hmm. Maybe they didn't completely take care of you. They were put off on grandma, mom, or they just weren't a good mother, good father. Do you think that when they get older, because I notice a lot of elderly people now don't really have their kids there to help them out. Like they have children, but those children, for whatever reason, are choosing not to be in their parents' life. Mm-hmm. Do you think that they should still be obligated to go ahead to take care of those parents in those situations?
I think that's based on circumstances and people. I think that won't be able to be a general thing for the masses, for everybody, just because there's so much stuff that might be there and the reason why somebody not doing. So, you know, I've been around a few females whose mother tried to kill them.
Oh wow.
And to see them still seek out to have, there's something innate in us that wants the desire to connect with that mom or that parent, but still, you know what I mean? So I think that's going to be like case by case.
No, that makes sense. That's a good answer. For my thoughts, I just think for me, I owe my mama shit. I just like, you know, now I love my mom to death, but I honestly feel like, and this is just in general, this is not my mom. My mom is the sweetest person on earth. I've said it before, but I don't owe shit. It's your responsibility. You know, it's your responsibility to be honest with you. Although I'm an adult, again, when you take on children, that's what comes with it. Like, you're going to be helping that person likely for the rest of their lives. And you're going to, because unfortunately, teaching and learning never ends. So the older that my mom gets and my dad gets, they're going to still have to teach me, and I'm going to still have to learn from them because they're ahead of me and they know more. So, and then I can pass that on down and keep doing it until I, you know, come to a place where they are.
But just remember when your kids get older and they be like, Dad, oh no, you.
That's gonna be a new Mother's Day card.
But that's Mama, the thing. Like,
I don't owe you shit. That's the new Mother's
Day. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, now it goes back to you guys' point though. Yeah, you know, I should, if I was taught the right way.
Did y'all miss
want? Huh?
Where he don't owe them anything, but he felt like it was his responsibility. I know responsibility came quick and you moved on to something else. So whereas he said that he don't owe them, or he don't owe his mom or whatever, he feel like it's a responsibility. So you
that's still gonna be on my Mother's Day card.
Well, no, what I'm saying. No, what I'm saying is like it's because I've been taught the right way. If you've done your job as a mother, because 9 times out of 10 there's a relationship between children and parents.
Right.
I don't, let me try to figure out the right way to say this. If I didn't ask to be here, 9 times out of 10, I give you something, you give me something. It's a give and take in a parenthood. Because a lot of times the kids, if done the right way, and in most cases, kids are giving you a different type of joy and a different type of worth, right? That's what they've done for you. They've given you something to have purpose. Because most people that don't have children, it's not to say that they don't have purpose, they have a different type of purpose. It's on a different level. And so it's a give and take. So I'm giving you something and you're giving me something. So in turn for me giving you the child that you likely always wanted, again, I'm generalizing, the child that you likely always wanted. I've heard many people say, yeah, I want another baby, or I want to try for a girl, or I want to try for a boy. That's you trying for a boy and you trying for a girl. I
didn't want no kids. I just wasn't doing the right precautions, sir.
Well, I've heard you say in the past. Well, hold up. I've heard you say in the past. I've heard you say in the past that you thought about having another child at some point.
You did.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah, like a year or two ago. That
wasn't no year or two ago. That wasn't no year or two ago. That was like 9 years ago, 10 years ago. So I was asking your old ass why you was trying to have a new baby. So here's the thing. So what I'm saying is, for me, I don't feel like I owe a shit. If I don't feel like I owe my dad. I feel like I owe him something. I don't know if it's anything good, but I owe his ass.
Yeah, I will.
But I don't feel like I owe my parents anything. I feel like, again, if I'm taught the right way and if they've done what they're supposed to do, the humanity in me is going to want to do that. I'm going to desire to make sure that they're kept well and taken care of, and they don't have any issues.
And some people don't have that kind of rapport and relationship with their parents, and they do operate off of "I owe you" because you gave birth to me.
They do.
So for some, that works, and it has to work.
That's a fact, and that's why I asked the question, because some people, like, you hear people all the time, and you even hear parents take advantage of this by saying, I brought you in this world, or if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be here, or this and that. Like, yeah, you're right. What if my life is fucked up? Yeah, you're right. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. You could also look at how parents made a lot of fucked up mistakes. And then if you're talking about I owe you, like, okay, if I owe you, let's talk about all the shit you did wrong. Let's talk about the shit you could have did a lot better. Like, had I been taught a certain way at a certain age, I probably would be in a better place in life before 75. So,
and I will agree with that too. But of course, unfortunately, there's no manual that teaches any of us how to be parents. And I'm thankful for grace, along with the mistakes that I've made along the way with my kids, and that they've turned out to be as amazing as they are. So,
hello.
Yeah, that's good. And but no, I do think that it's a great thing to want to do that, and most people, it's a give and take. I think that a combination of I'm giving you somebody to love, as well as you're helping me become a great person. So in that sense, you should want to do for your parents. You should never let somebody make you feel guilty for not doing something just because they're your parents. And that's why I asked that, because a lot of times, like Alicia said, that's what people do. Is like they do it because they feel some type of obligation or indebtedness to, I got to do this for my parents because, again, society says that's what's right, or this is what I've been told via church, via people in the neighborhood, or whatever it is. That's what I've been told, so that's what I'm doing, as opposed to going with what I feel. And then at times, goes back to the kid's point, at times it's case by case. At times I might not feel that way. I might not feel that way about my parents. You might feel that way about yours, but don't put that on me. Don't put that on me if I don't feel that way about my parents and judge me and make me feel like I'm bad because I don't have that rapport with my parents. So Great stuff. Great stuff. We got to have to chop this up, but does anybody have any closing thoughts or anything they want to say? I do want to say this before I give you guys the floor. I do appreciate you coming through, and like Nakia, and you won the contest, and we have enjoyed having you. It's actually been really, really great. We do hope you will come back one day and join us back. Yeah, absolutely. And have fun with us. I hope you enjoy being here. And I'll let the ladies have the floor, or I'll let you say some closing words if you'd like to. Floor is yours.
Well, I want to thank everybody for allowing me to come on and enjoying y'all's platform and space to share my my thoughts, feelings, or opinions. And we're at a place where it's so hard to find a space like that, because like we were just talking about everybody being judgmental. And I've gotten to this place now where when you're having a conversation with somebody and they're trying to express something to you, they always come to the end and say, you understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? And what they're really saying is, do you agree with me? And that's not the case. That's not the case. Like they're not saying it, but they feel it, because when you don't agree with them, then you get some resistance and they looking at you like you crazy. So we got to get to a place in space with everyone where you should be able to feel what you want to feel based on your own upbringing and experience, and not feel weird or feel inadequate when somebody else is sharing their stuff, because they're coming from a different space and time with their own place and upbringing and education. But us being able to have these kind of conversations definitely are eye opener, so that you can take something away from it or bring something to it that makes everybody a little bit better along the way. So I appreciate the platform.
Hey. Very well put. Very well put. Well, I like it. Okay. All right.
Okay. You might can click, I don't know, skip over me or whatever, but I just have to ask you, Will, have you heard Wale's song with Kelly Price?
Is it on his new album?
Yeah.
It's not. It is. Yes, I probably heard it, but I don't remember it like per se, because I've heard Wale's album a couple times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go back and.
Okay.
And then let me know what your thoughts are on it. Okay,
we'll do. All right, so I guess everybody do that. If you're doing nothing and you have a moment, go back and listen to that. If you got like a platform or like Tidal or Apple Music or something like that, let's listen to that Wale and give our points on it. Is that something that we want to do a topic on?
You know what? Actually, we can. It's some things that he's saying there that we've already touched on, but we definitely can discuss the lyrics in his song.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
The name is To Me, featuring Kelly.
Mm-hmm. I'm 100% sure I've heard it. It's just like I listen to so much music, I just can't distinguish that song or take that song out per se and just put a finger on it. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, Alicia, you good? You looking like again like somebody in the back seat telling you to shut your damn mouth. Like, what's going on?
No. I just want to encourage everybody, because we've seen so much recently in the news on social media. One thing I've struggled with is feeling guilt about needing to take a moment away from everything that's going on. And I just want to encourage everybody, because you definitely have to have some self-care during this time,
right?
To be able to go ahead and to get your mind right, to not be afraid to take a moment away from everything that's going on. Don't feel guilty about needing to go ahead and to just get in a better mental space and then come back and reconnect with it. Mm-hmm. Because it's a lot to take in. It's a lot going on. And just don't feel bad about laughing. Like initially, I felt like everything needed to be strictly just about what's going on. And if it wasn't about that, I felt like I had disconnected from the reality of what's happening. But sometimes you need to disconnect.
You know what?
Time out for yourself.
That's a good point. I'm glad you actually mentioned that, because I found myself, even knowing me and how I am, I found myself for a very, 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 very short period of time, thinking that. It just came across my mind is what I'm saying. It's like, why do I feel bad about not wanting to? Because me and the wife had that conversation. She was like, well, you know, you sound like you tired of hearing it, blah, blah. Like, no, that's not it. I said, what I want is I want a variety at this point. I said, I need a break away from the madness. From the madness, yes. And we're getting things are going our way enough for us to say, let me take a moment or two away. Even with doing this show tonight, I'm like, you know, we're doing topics that aren't, you know, geared toward the topics that we're dealing with right now. Are they relevant to people, and do people want to hear it and say, oh, we don't want to hear that because blah, blah, blah. But I thought about it to myself, like, you know what? You know, people need to get away and listen to something different and listen to topics, because these topics and these issues don't stop just because we got one. We got a lot of issues that we got to deal with. So it's okay to take away, have a bright moment and laugh and just have fun and get back to the realness at hand. So I agree with that 100%. I'm glad you brought it up.
Right.
All right. So I won't take up any more of you guys' time. I appreciate everybody for coming. Remember, everybody that's watching, like, comment, subscribe, go to YouTube. Please follow us at _the_let_out_. We got a lot of news, a lot of information, and we are covering the matters at hand, the current topics and things like that. So you help you stay abreast on topics and things like that. So get in tune with the show, get in the know, and we'll see you guys on next time. All right, everybody. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Like the video, subscribe to our channel, and you can also hit the little notification bell just to be sure that you are noticed when we post new videos. So
good one. All right. Yeah. All right, good deal. Everybody have a good night.
You too.
All right, bye. Thank you, Nakia. Bye.
Every time I pull up at the let out, it's a spectacle.